if you could paint a picture of what social impact investing may be in 10 years or so, maybe it'll be called something different, and what roles you would see for potentially for people in this room who are thinking about, you know, this field or fields related, what roles would you see that they might play? Where will the demand be? Where will the jobs be?
Yeah, from my perspective, one of the most important sort of underserved areas is people that are focused on just evaluating these ESG factors, sort of third parties that do this. KLD is now MSCI, which is a larger company. It went through a couple transitions. Risk Metrics was in there for about a month or two, I think. Yeah. We hired somebody, Maria Kamen, who used to work at KLD, and we used to work with Lloyd Kurtz, et cetera. So we have 2 people on our team who all they do is ESG research, but we use a lot of third-party data and analysis. But it's very difficult, especially, as I mentioned earlier, in the small cap space. We're looking at companies where they don't have a lot of public disclosure. So that third-party data is extremely important. We always reserve the judgment, obviously, is going to be our, you know, that's our job. That's what people pay us for, is judgment. So we're going to make the decision if it adheres to our ESG principles or not. But getting that data is very, very difficult to do. We oftentimes have to go directly to OSHA or the EPA. Various states have you know, data around safety and environmental records, and it's very difficult. It's very time consuming. So, you know, to the extent that you can latch on to a company that's doing this, I'm very interested in what Paul was talking about on the data he's getting. It's very difficult, and standardizing that data and making it available to managers like us who don't have the resources to get all that information ourselves. That would be very important. And obviously, you know, portfolio management, analyst jobs, we compete with hedge funds and mutual funds for the best investment talent in the country. We hire a lot from Haas, actually, so I know that for a fact. And you know, that's another route as well. So, you know, we have an internship program that we hire very actively from Haas, and that's an important part as well. But that's more of a traditional investment route.
So I end up spending a lot of time on college campuses, and we are one of the sponsors of an initiative called the Impact Investment Challenge, which originated actually out of the Kellogg School at Northwestern, and it pits groups of students from last year 10, this year 25 major business schools, including Haas, with the challenge of developing new financial products for impact, and then there's a contest to determine who wins some fairly generous cash prizes that have been put in for that. And inevitably, there's a dinner afterwards, and the one question on every student's mind is, how can I get a job in the impact investing space? And they come to me because they say, we've got 50 managers on your platform on the Impact Assets 50. Which one of those managers are recruiting at MBA programs? And what I have to share with them is those 50 managers today collectively run $8.6 billion. Now, that's a lot of money in aggregate, but when you break it down among 50 firms, it's about $170 million per firm, and the average firm has about 5 people in it. So suffice it to say that I saw the recruiting sign out here today. They're not sending over a recruiting group to meet with and hire a group of young MBAs. So where do you go? The advice that I've been giving is look at opportunities within the traditional investment world, because those firms will be moving into this space. Some of them are doing it consciously today. I just learned this week, and it was given to me confidentially, but one of the major global investment firms is going to be launching its first social investment fund, a $250 million social investment fund, and they actually hope to build an entire group out of it. And I'm seeing that happen now at a number of the major firms, and ultimately when they look to fill those groups, they're going to look to fill it internally with known talent within the firms. So the space is not yet robust enough where there's a ton of direct job opportunities, but I really feel strongly that as this space develops over the next 3 to 5 years, people that are positioned within firms that become enlightened are going to end up finding themselves in really interesting places.
Yeah, I would echo that. I mean, the first comment I was going to make is I think there's phenomenal news for everyone here for that 10-year vision, because just the secular trend of mainstreaming this in institutions is very real. It's very real. And so the degree to which one will work in the financial industry and not be touching this is going to change a lot between now and then. I think today it is a different story, and it is harder. So step one is the best of the best, please send your resumes to us. But I think Ron's point is spot on. I mean, I literally have stopped going to net impact because it like makes my heart break, right? Because you go and you have 2,000 unbelievably enthusiastic MPAs who that is their one question, and the answer is, you know, it's exactly what Ron says. Go have an awesome experience where you do great work and learn a lot, and that will position you for this future within that firm or within another, and that's. But you know, I think that is the news. This is an industry that's not an industry yet, and I think we do need to find ways to create awesome careers for the best people, and it's something I think we're all working on.
Let me put on my future glasses. Lots of opportunity. I can't miss a Net Impact conference because having 2,000 MBAs, graduate students, undergrads, business professionals so charged up is about the highest concentration I have all year of experiencing optimism about the world looking forward. So, and anybody who went up to Portland for last year's Net Impact heard Liz Moss say, "Go occupy Wall Street from the inside." And so I think that's the, so I'd say, compete in the Impact Investing Challenge, apply at Imprint Capital, but also, compete in the Global Social Venture competition, the GSVC, which got its start here at Haas back in '99 by a handful of alums, including Sarah Olson. And that is now a truly global institution where companies like Revolution Foods, D-Light Design, World of Good, which is now part of eBay, as well as companies around the world are actually starting it. And then your future companies to be in a mid-cap index from Parnassus, or you might go and work in a company that's part of the best companies to work for, which is also part of Parnassus Workplace Fund. So my encouragement is bring impact with you wherever your passion is, because what impact investing is going to be called in 10 years, Kim, is investing. Because the only way to effectively evaluate risk, capture opportunity, is going to be having this lens. And so accounting actually took several hundred years to get to standards. We're going to need to do it in decades and maybe years, not centuries. And there's lots of examples today. So yes, we're in this high innovation period that may have some standardization or some consolidation. But what we encourage everybody to do who we interact with is to ask, how hip is it? So we ask chief sustainability officers in corporations what level of positive or negative impact. We ask investor relations officers to disclose the human capital and the carbon risk that they have. We encourage students to go and ask these questions of their portfolio as well as their where they're getting a job, and that you have 4 choices to make when you make a decision. Where do I shop? Where do I work? How do I invest? And how do I vote? And so if you apply impact as well as risk and return to all of those criteria, you will shift how you buy and go to places like goodguide.com to see where your products rate on a 0 to 10 scale. And so Dara Rourke, who is a professor at Berkeley, started that company. You'll look for a best company to work for and help them accelerate. You'll invest your portfolio in a way that will take advantage of a lot of what you heard today. And you'll actually vote, hopefully, with your interests, not against your interests, and support people who see this and want to create this. Maybe even go be a city manager, because there's not yet a muni bond that has quantified impact attached to it. There are muni bonds that have impact, but there's none that have been sold as having impact. So that's a new idea waiting to happen. When you do that, let me know, because we have clients who want to invest in that type of opportunity. So there's lots of opportunities across all phases of investing. Impact is just another criteria that helps you see things clear on both the upside and the downside. So I'll look forward to hearing all of your success stories in doing it.
Thank you all.